You want the most potent plants possible. That means maximizing your terp production, and terpenes are what give you the flavor and especially the buzz. So today we're going to talk about getting the most terps out of your next harvest. But before we do, this video is brought to you by Real Growers Grow Dots. Absolutely the easiest way to feed your plants. You mix grow dots in once at the beginning of the grow, and they feed your plants all the way to harvest. Find out more over at realgrowers.com. And let's get into it. Come on, you ready, I see?
I'm ready, man. Let's talk about some ways to get more terps out of my next harvest.
Yeah, man. All right, I got the first one.
All right, what's the first?
Strain selection. If that strain never had terps to begin with, it's not going to have terps no matter how good you grow it. So find it. And by the way, terpenes, there's thousands of strains with thousands of different terpene combinations. We talk about that entourage effect as how they combine to give you a different kind of buzz or different kind of relief. So it's important to find terpenes, that strain that has the terpenes that match what you're going for. Something that you like or something that gives you relief.
Okay, so I always hear people talk about THC levels or CBD levels, and you're saying there's an entourage effect. It's kind of the mix of that with the terpenes.
Absolutely. We talk about THC and what do they have, the clear and distillate and all that stuff. It's pure 100% THC. Doesn't do very much at all. It turns out you need those terpenes. You need all those things that are responsible for the flavor and smell. Turns out they do more than just flavor and smell. They actually work together with the THC to provide you a medical benefit.
Okay, so when picking out a strain, yes, THC matters, but also the terpene.
Big time. Okay. Big time.
I got my strain picked out, and you were telling me that terpenes temperature affects them, especially in flower.
Big time, man. Big time. They volatilize off, meaning they just evaporate off, for lack of a better word. And there's a bunch of different terpenes for cannabis. Right at about 70 degrees is the lowest temperature that they start volatilizing off, or they start evaporating into the air. And once you get up into the mid 80s, 90s, that's why your end results will taste like hay sometimes, because there's just nothing left. All of them have gone into the air. When you go into a grow and you smell it's hot and you can smell, guess that's not magic. You're smelling those terpenes that are volatilizing off into the air.
Okay, so in kind of like the end of flower, when most of my trichomes are starting to come out and all of those terpenes are really nice and ripe, that's when I really got to keep my temperature in my grow. Where's the best place to keep the temperature?
I'll keep it down low 70s. In the last few weeks of flower, you'll often hear about people turning their temperatures or dialing their temperatures down. Photosynthesis increases into right up to about 90 degrees. So that's actually building the plant material. Our plant material is built by the last couple weeks of flowering. What we're trying to do is just induce a stress response to get it to push out more and more resin.
Okay, cool. So dropping your temperatures down to the 70s, the low 70s, it's okay for the last couple of weeks of flower to really protect those terpenes.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. Photosynthesis is slowing down, but your terpenes are you're continuing to add terpenes. More importantly, you're not allowing them to degrade.
Okay, so I picked out a good strain. I protected my terpenes at the end of my flower. Now I'm chopping.
Yeah.
I'm harvesting. What can I do in the actual final stage, the dry and cure? What can I do to keep those terpenes as pristine as possible?
Hey, just because they left your grow room doesn't mean they don't need your protection, okay, man?
Okay.
Nah, but there's the same thing. The same things that will destroy terpenes in your grow will destroy them while they're drying. So exposure to light is a big one after they've been harvested. They'll degrade. Exposure to heat, again, is the main thing. These will volatilize off. So if you try to dry in an 80-degree closet, there's nothing keeping those terpenes from volatilizing off.
Okay, so while I'm drying them and curing them, I want them to be in a dark, cool environment.
That's why they talk about in the 60s, as far as, 60 degree, in the mid 60s, no higher than that. You don't want to dry in 70 something degree, or if you do dry in a 70 something, a room temperature, a closet or a room, you will lose some terps. Will it be catastrophic? No. But you will lose some terps.
And that means you'll lose some of that flavor, some of that aroma, some of that entourage effect.
Some of that dank.
All right, bonus question.
All right.
Humidity while I'm drying my plants out. Does humidity affect the terpenes while they're drying?
It's funny. Humidity affects the terpenes not only while they're drying, but while it's growing. If you have a super high humidity room, it does affect them. So I don't know the science behind it, but it adds a little bit more water to them, and it does affect the terpenes, man. So super humid rooms will steal terps. Super hot rooms will. And then it translates in the drying as well.
Okay, so in my drying, what should I be aiming for as far as humidity?
Man, mid 60s, lower to mid 60s for temperature and humidity is like a rule, I guess, or a guideline, and then you can take it from there. Hey, but that's just my 2 cents. What about you? What are your best tips for producing high terpene harvests? Come on, let me know in the comments. And if you dug this video, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and check out the other couple videos YouTube's recommending. I know they'll help you in your grow.